I got a comment from a viewer who I believe his honest intention was to try to help, but the irony in some of the things that he said is borderline comical. So rather than address him on the comments page, I'm just going to make a video about what he said, and I'm going to answer the comments on here, and I'm going to address each issue one by one. So let's go. He says, your problem sounds like you keep trying to hook up with YouTube expats and then you lump them with expats in general. So there are now two different kinds of expats. There are the kind that live here and the kind that live here and get on YouTube. Thought an expat was an expat. It might surprise you, but there are far more expats living in the PI community that have absolutely nothing or want nothing to do with YouTube, Patreon, and emo. Those are the people you need to seek out. Lots of people don't want to live their life around with a camera in their face or even want to talk about that kind of stuff because they are too busy living their life and not filming their life. Do you know how important it is to film things? How the fuck are you going to have any memories if you don't document anything? Unless you have literally got the biggest brain in the history of humanity, you are not going to be able to recreate the things that you could have captured with a camera, whether it be photography or videography, period. Don't say the expat community is cutthroat when that's just a few people who stick cameras in their face and argue with each other for views. You're kind of doing the same thing using the expat word incorrectly, like you were saying people use sexpat incorrectly. Okay, first of all, the definition of expat is a foreigner who lives in another country, or expatriate, whatever, whichever you want to use. So no, genius, I am not using the word incorrectly. Furthermore, if people want to talk on camera and they're expats in the YouTube community, when I address the expat community on YouTube, I'm addressing YouTubers, not everybody else. Like, is that a leap? He goes on to say again, if you look in forums and stuff, you'll find expats that don't want anything to do with your hobby, but we'll show you around, tell you how things really work. Because the people that don't put a camera in their face know how things really work. Then he gives me a great suggestion. For future content, you might want to make a video on the difference between a typical YouTube type expat and a typical retired / relocated expat who just live their private lives, because I've always considered them two different types of people. Well, that's your problem, because they're not. The only difference is one puts a camera in front of their face and one doesn't. They're both expats. Majority of the expat community as a whole lives here, is on some kind of fixed income or retired. Now I'm a YouTuber. Now I'm not. Now I'm a YouTuber. Now I'm not. Now I'm one of those expat YouTubers that like to lie to people and argue with people. Now I'm just a regular expat who wants nothing to do with those people because they're all crazy. In my experience, people who don't show who they truly are to other people, not necessarily through a camera, but through other means of life, have something to hide. People with nothing to hide, hide nothing. That's typically the people you see on YouTube. Or it is in my case anyway. I can't speak for everybody. For future content, do a video on the different kind of expats. Because there are different kinds. Let's see if there are different kinds. According to expat.com, an expat is a person temporarily or permanently residing in a country other than that of the person's upbringing. See, there's nothing on here that says a YouTuber expat and a real expat. I'm sorry, there's nothing. It's not my fault. This next comment was on the Mandawi Quickie when I went to Mandawi and didn't find what I was looking for. He puts a quote on here. This is how you know that somebody knows absolutely nothing about you at all, right? They just infer whatever they want to from the video. Puts a quote on here, 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Notice that white guy you were filming, staring at? He was walking up towards you. Did he look like a tourist or a traveler? Nope. No backpack. Locals are gonna assume he lives there. Maybe married to a Panay, so he's got more street smarts. Brother, please. You have no idea. You have no idea. I know exactly who you're talking about, and I haven't even went back and looked at the video. Street smarts? If you only knew. If you only knew. Then he goes on to educate me. If you're going to walk around as much as you do in your videos, I'd suggest getting rid of that backpack. You don't realize it, but you stick out like a huge sore thumb, and that's not because you're white. You're fitting the typical tourist look. Just like if you were walking around in New York with a suitcase that just came off the bus. I am well aware of what kind of look I fit into. And if you can figure out a way to pack camera equipment into short pockets, let me know. I'm all ears, because I can't do it. Also, when your budget allows, you're going to have to get some insurance, man, because it's clear you don't have any. How the fuck do you know I don't have any insurance? All it takes is for one twisted ankle, then a tumble into the street to get hit by a scooter or worse, and you're laid up bad. Sure, that could happen to anyone, but the guy with the insurance is going to be much better off. You're right. And insurance comes in a variety of forms. Sometimes it comes in savings accounts. Sometimes it comes in traveler's insurance. Many different forms of insurance, my friend. And trust me, I'm covered. Now, as I said in the beginning, I believe this guy's full intention was to help. I do believe so. However, I think his brain is a little twisted. And you can't discriminate. You can't discriminate against somebody who does what you like to watch and then criticize them for doing it. That's not ignorant, that's stupid. There's a difference. The guy who doesn't like YouTubers because they have to walk around with a camera in front of their face all the time and they argue with each other, watches YouTube, and then comments on the videos.